everyone, welcome back. Today I am sharing an honest review on the Interior Design Institute, which is the interior design course that I took that led me to where I am today. Whether you're someone who is considering taking this course or you're just curious about how I reached the point that I'm at today, I hope this video gives you a little bit of insight. First of all, I want to talk about what the Interior Design Institute is for any of you who don't know and have never heard of it before, or for any of you who are interested in it and have been looking into it. This should give you a little bit more background about what to expect. This is an online-based, self-paced interior design course that is accessible in 36 countries. And it's structured to walk you through the basics of interior design through the design process. There are 12 basic modules, and then they also have additional advanced modules that are a little more specialized in like kitchen design or bathroom design, or if you want to learn a certain modeling software or styling, things like that. They have some additional advanced modules that you can purchase separately than the 12 basic modules that come with the purchase of the course. And you are assigned a tutor for the duration of the course. So you have one person that will look at your assignment and then give you feedback. And if you met the requirements of the assignment, you can move on to the next module. Upon the completion of the course, you receive a diploma of interior design that sets a good foundation for you to continue developing in the industry and branch off wherever you most feel called. But I do want to clarify, this is not a degree program. This is a diploma that is reviewed by the IARC. So it is not a CIDA accredited program for you to go off and start pursuing a license in interior design. There would need to be some steps after your diploma to reach that point. Now, a lot of people who take this course take it for different reasons. Not everyone who takes it wants to become an interior designer. They maybe are an architect or work in residential construction, or they have a boutique or an upholstery company and just want to expand their knowledge of interior design and just give themselves a little bit more of a well-rounded view of that industry to improve their skills within the industry that they currently work in. Some people pursue this before going and pursuing a degree in interior design. And the reason that I got into it, which is probably the reason that most people who are considering it are looking into, is to become an interior designer. I started looking for online interior design degrees, and that's when I came across this course, although it is not a degree. And I was pondering if I wanted to go back to school and spend a lot of money in student loan debts or try something like this first. And having dropped out of college twice by that point, I figured it might be best just to try it out, see if it was something I maybe later wanted to go to school for. But I was kind of a little apprehensive about it. I wasn't sure if it was legit, or I just couldn't really get a good gauge on if it was something that was worth it until I started finding reviews and seeing videos just like this one that I'm making for you now on YouTube of people who had gone through it and shared their honest opinion. So I'm gonna do that for you now in case it's something you're considering. There were several things that I liked about it, a couple of things I wish it would have had a little bit more of, but overall, I really enjoyed it. I think it's worth it if you're just kind of dipping your toes into interior design and it's something that you're thinking about. I really liked the way that the modules were set up. It was kind of like chunked into sections, with the first three being really foundational. You look at the foundations of design and architectural styles and color theory, like things like that, your basic foundation. And then the next 6 modules, modules 4 through 9, really took you through the design process and what it would look like designing a design project, from floor plan, electrical plan, looking at making spec sheets and schedules and selecting finishes and furniture, like the design process and how that would go. I thought those modules did a great job at walking you through that. And then the last 3, modules 10 through 12, do a good job at kind of like setting you up to kind of launch out into your next steps by looking at things like construction drawings, building a portfolio, working with an actual client. The structure of the modules and the way it was laid out, I thought was super beneficial. And attached to each module at the end, you have an assignment related to that module. And then the tutor that you're assigned that reviews your assignments and approves them before you can move on to the next module. I really loved my tutor personally. All of the tutors are professionals in the industry, so you're getting like very valuable knowledge and feedback from somebody who is where you potentially might want to be. I loved the notes from Wendy and the resources that she provided to me beyond the course reading. It's like she would look at my assignment, provide me some information, give me some more information about whatever that module was on from her personal experience, and then recommend additional resources, books, readings, videos, whatever, to help give me some more context on that specific topic. She had some awesome feedback, very constructive, very helpful. I could go on and on. I loved having her as my tutor. And then the flexibility, self-paced part of it was super nice. And they say it should take like 6 to 12 months, I think, typically to get through the course. And I want to say it took me closer to the 12, maybe even 18 months. It took me a while to get through it personally. And I just really liked how it helped me, one, build a good portfolio to kind of start with and get my foot out there, and just gave me the confidence for the next steps that I took, which I'll get into, like I said, here in a sec. But it did provide a really good foundation that I think was well worth the money and time I invested in the course. Some things that I do wish would have been better though is construction documents and working with contractors. Any of that type of thing. Like they had a module 11, I believe, was all about drawings and documents and all of that, but I wish there would have been more on that. There was a little bit of it, like in modules 4, 5, and 11, where you make a floor plan, reflected ceiling plan, which is your electrical plan, and an elevation, but you weren't required to learn any like specific software for that. You could do them by hand and submit them if you wanted to, or you could go off and learn SketchUp. They have an advanced module in both AutoCAD and SketchUp if you wanted to purchase that to learn that. I did purchase a course, but I didn't do their SketchUp advanced module. I'm sure it's great. I have done one of their advanced modules, which I will talk about, but I think the person who teaches their SketchUp advanced module also has her own SketchUp for Interior Designers course, and I took that course. It was wonderful. I would 100% recommend it. You learn 2D and 3D modeling in that course with her. If I can find a link, I'll link that down below for you. But anyway, anything I've learned over the years with like construction documents or 3D models or anything like that has been more so self-taught, and like those softwares have been things that I've learned on my own and gone off and done. So within the Interior Design Institute course, although there is a chapter on it, I wish there would have been more of an emphasis on how that ties into working with tradespeople and contractors and all of that, because you learn how to make them, but it's unclear whether they're like actually helpful, or all of the documentation that needs to be included, and you're making like one-off drawings, but I would have loved to have known how to put together a full like construction binder. It would have been helpful to have more information there. And then also more information on sourcing would have been great. And then project management also, because being able to design something is one thing, but implement is another. That's kind of where the construction, like working with tradespeople and being able to make construction documents and that whole situation comes into play, is in your project management. So more, I guess, information as a whole on project management and design implementation would have, I think, been most helpful for me, and where I would have loved to see more information personally. But overall, it's a great course. I would 100% recommend it if you are considering anything in the interior field. If you are already in a interior related field like upholstery or lighting design or even construction, and you just want some more robust knowledge behind how a whole space kind of comes together and the job of an interior designer, someone who deals with all aspects of interiors, I think it would definitely be super helpful, and I would 100% recommend. This course may not be for you if you think that you want to do the course and then immediately apply for like senior level designer at like one of the top design firms in the country. That's probably not gonna happen. Jumping into a big role like that, this isn't necessarily gonna set you up for success for that completely. Or if you're somebody who wants to start your own business in interior design, this is wonderful, but you might not want to just jump right into planning new builds and becoming super liable for a house worth millions and millions of dollars. Like I don't know that I would recommend trying to jump into like full level designing right out of this course. I think it's great for a foundation, but some more development is needed for higher level work with clients that are trusting you to manage their money and their homes. However, that's not to say you can't start an interior design business, because that's exactly what I have done. And I don't know how many of you know that or how much I've really talked about my business on the channel. It's something I always intended to share, but I don't think I actually ever really talk much about it. So I'm gonna do that now because it is pertinent to this course. So after completing this course, I started doing freelance designing, primarily for like decorative or like light design, maybe light renovation style projects, but nothing like major. Like I'm dipping my toes in. It's like we're picking new furniture and paint colors and trim and things like that for like a single room. And based on my project in module 10, I believe, I got one, and then which also then led to another freelance job right out of my design coursework, which was amazing. And one of them you've actually seen here on the channel. It was my very first series that I posted, some of my very early videos. I'll insert a link to that playlist up here if you want to see that whole DIY situation, because I did DIY it. We did a big transformation on a DIY scope while changing just about everything about it. It was a great experience. I love that project. It'll always hold a special place in my heart. And that's kind of the level I've continued to work up until now, except for a little over a year ago, I actually formed my interior design business. I went from freelancing for clients to having it fall under a business, just because I figured paperwork and tax-wise that might be a little easier, and I didn't know where it was gonna lead. So I figured while I built my portfolio a little bit, I would at least do it under a business and kind of just see where that takes me. It felt like a smart decision. So I did form an interior design business, Claytor House Interiors, about a year ago. It was about a little over a year ago, and have continued working with clients in that same design planning, very light renovation capacity. I have not yet had the opportunity to work with contractors, just because it has not been in the scope of my projects, or it hasn't been in the budget. We're mainly doing a decorative solution. So I've done a couple of other DIY situations that you've seen here on the channel as well, but it's all been still very like early stages. I'm not doing full new builds or full renovation plans. I'm building my experience slow and steady, continuing to develop my skills and my knowledge, seeing where the gaps are and filling those in before like jumping in to things and like spending other people's money and potentially ruining their homes. Like I don't want to do that. So it's been an incremental process. And in addition to that, I started YouTube almost a year ago and wanted to share those projects that I was working on and the knowledge that I have. Although I'm not, a master designer in anything, I do think that knowledge should be accessible. Although I don't have all the answers, I've always wanted to share any knowledge that I do have. So if you ever have any questions, please feel free to leave those and I will answer them honestly with the knowledge that I have. And I love doing YouTube for you guys. It's wonderful. I was recently monetized. Thank you so much for all of you who have subscribed. I now make money off of this channel just from uploading videos and you guys watching. So I super appreciate all of you who have done that. And it's been great to see both the channel and my interior design business evolve over time. And I'm finally reaching a point where I feel like I'm starting the next step in that development. I have a project. I didn't have a video last week because I was meeting a client for a project meeting and starting early design development for my next project, which does have a little bit more level of renovation. So it's going to take more construction documents. It's going to take more design planning, take more of everything. It's going to stretch me more than my previous projects have, but not beyond what I feel that I'm capable. So if you take a course like this and want to start your own interior design business, know that it's going to be an incremental process. And I'm not saying that it's not possible or that someone can't grow faster than what I have. There are certainly people who have taken this course and like hit the ground running with a design business of their own and have become super successful within a year, but we're not comparing our journeys to anybody else's. I'm super happy with the way that my life is going. So it is possible, but my journey does not look like that, and that's wonderful. I am playing it a little bit safe and letting things evolve naturally. If you're not subscribed and you want to see how that journey continues, please consider doing so and coming back next week as I walk you through the beginning design process for this client and this new level of project. I'm super excited for it and to give you guys a peek more inside my design process. And I'm also at the point now where if I wanted to pivot and not do my own client work and go work for an established firm, I kind of have a little bit more of a leg to stand on to apply for internships that somebody right out of college could apply for. So that's an option I'm kind of toying with if I want to start doing that or not as well at this point. But it has taken me more development beyond this course to reach that point, if that makes sense. So I know that was kind of all over the place. I hope that painted a clear picture of where I'm at now. I'm not a full-fledged interior design studio. I still work with clients on a very like design planning, low grade level. I absolutely love doing what I do now, but the foundation work that the course provided set the stage for the further development that I pursued to reach where I'm at now. And I, right out of this course, would not launch right into huge scale projects. Like that would be very overwhelming because of some of the gaps that I felt I needed to fill on my own after this course. Oh, I did mention that I took one of their advanced modules as well, which I'll speak on quickly because they have a couple of different ones. When I was getting ready to start my interior design business, they have a course that's all about branding, social media, business related things if you do want to go on to start your interior design business, because they do kind of help set you up for that. And it was great as well. I kind of felt the same way about that I did as the interior design course as a whole. It was very foundational. There's a lot that goes into running an interior design business. And this mostly covered like your branding with your business. It didn't cover the full scope of like running a design business. So valuable as well in its own way. But if that was the path you wanted to pursue, some more development would be necessary. But overall, the course provided me with a lot of confidence from other student testimonials that I've seen. It just generally gives you knowledge and sets you up to have confidence moving forward in whatever you want to do post the course. And you've got to find some more confidence on your own to kind of further develop yourself to where you want to be, wherever that is. I hope you liked this video and it gave you some more information on the Interior Design Institute and their design course. If it's something you've been considering, if you did like it, please consider giving me a thumbs up. And if you have any specific questions about this course as a whole or my journey after it or anything like that, I'm more than happy to answer those. Just leave those in the comments below. And don't forget to subscribe and come back for a look inside my design process next week with one of my real life clients. Until next time, I'm wishing you all my best. On a side note, since I do have an interior design business, I want to remind all of you that I do offer interior design consultations. So if you or someone you know would like a little bit of help developing a vision for a space in your home, I would love to meet with you and help your vision come to life.